welcome to another episode of Watch Once Over. My name is Big E. Today we're going to be looking at my personal MRGB5000B-1. This watch has a price tag of 4,000 US retail dollars. And before I start the video, I did obtain this watch from azfindtime.com. I'll leave a link in the description so you can go straight to azfindtime.com and look at all the wonderful offerings they have. They are the #1 G-Shock single brick and mortar store in the United States of America and probably the world. Now that that's out of the way, one more thing. If you want it in the video here, is the watch worth buying for $4,000? And the short, simple answer is yes. So if you want advice to go pick one of these up, the answer is yes. Go ahead. You won't regret it. It's all good. But as an owner of this watch is pretty damn cool. Now, this was based on the original DWC5000C, and it is an all titanium watch with 3 different titanium elements in there. You have a sapphire anti-reflective coated crystal on here and a standalone MRG functioning unit inside that is different than the other metal squares. This module is different mainly because it works on a different operating system. It doesn't use the standard G-Shock app. You have to use the CASIO website app that you use for MRGs on this one. And it also has different circuitry in there for magnetic and electrical and just overall upgraded G-Shock features. Now, this watch is made of 3 different titaniums. This bezel is a 25-piece bezel. All these individual pieces do come apart, including the bezel and these little 4 corners, which are actual shock absorbers. And I'll put an exploded view up of the watch so you can see what I'm referring to. It is all Salish polished. Like a Grand Seiko. Salish polishing is Zeratu polishing, and those 2 words freely interchange with each other. So when you hear of Salish polishing, they're talking about Zeratu polishing. Now this has a multi structure, G-Shock structure, and it's called the multi-guard structure. That is these little shock absorbers over here on the corners that are all the pieces that go together, and then they have a little leaf spring inside along with silicone to absorb any shocks from dropping this watch. Really unique invention. It took them about a year to invent it, and it's really cool. Now the watch also is a titanium 64. That's the case elements. I'll put a view up of that, of the pieces that are titanium 64. And that is your standard titanium, but you do have DLC, diamond-like carbon coating on those pieces too. And now the bracelet is going to be, what is this? This is DAT55G. This is 3 times harder than normal titanium, and it has a tensile strength of about 1,050. Really good stuff. And one thing to note, that this bracelet is affixed by pins and sleeves, not screws or not those little spring bars like the other ones. And I like that because I've owned many Oruses and other watch brands that have screw links with titanium, and they eventually strip out. You don't have to worry about stripping these. Just you do have to worry about losing those little collars, which can be a bear to find if you drop one of them. But they're also easily replaced. So I don't mind that. Some people say that's a drawback. It's not. There is one drawback to this watch, and I'll get to that shortly. Um, and you're going to see it throughout the video. You're seeing it now. I guarantee it. You just may not know what I'm talking about. Um, Now, the bezel is 4 times harder than normal titanium, and that is made of cobarium. That is a really um, strong titanium, and it is also diamond-like coated, and also it has the brilliance of platinum. Really good stuff, surgical grade titanium. They use it in hips and stuff like that, in body parts. And cobarium was actually invented in Japan. Really low nickel content, so you're going to have a real um, highly anti allergen metal. Titanium is, so you don't have to. It has a low nickel content, so you don't have to worry about breaking out from wearing this watch or anything like that. Now, the buttons are ion plated, as well as the titanium back is ion plated. It's screw down, and you get 200 meters of water resistance with this, and a beautiful sapphire crystal that is anti-reflective coating. And one of the things about this module, it has a beautiful fade in and fade out, smoother than any of the other counterparts. Even though it may look the same, it is different. Like I said, I mentioned earlier that gold circuitry inside the watch. So it's pretty cool. Now you have multi-band 6 on this, and also down here multi-band and Bluetooth. So you do have phone connectivity to it. One of the best things to this watch that puts it over the top of any of the other MRGs, you have this button which is a short-term memory press. You press this button right here, and you see it says receive time. And what that does is that records your longitude, and see it said okay, longitude and latitude location, and your exact pinpoint location on the map. So say if you're driving along and you see a restaurant and you want to go back to that restaurant later and you don't know the area where you're at, you can push that button and it will record it inside the watch and send it to your phone and show you that exact location, geographic location, where you're at. And I'll put up a picture of what that would look like once you push the button and you open that screen on your phone. Pretty cool stuff. Now, other things they might not mention about this, if you put this watch down and you don't touch it and it goes in total darkness, it'll last 2 years. The screen will turn off, but it will keep time internally, but it'll last 2 years without a solar charge. This has tough solar charging, so it doesn't need battery changes or anything, and I don't know how long that will last. I'm just going to tell you, I don't know how long the capacitors will last. Some watches that I've had, solar watches, last 5 to 10 years. Other watches I've read about, the solar cells last 20 years. So if this is going to last a lifetime or not, I don't know. But you can always send it back to CASIO, and they can put a fresh capacitor in there and renew the watch as if it was new. Because these are really nice high-grade tool watches. Now you do get MRG locking class with 3 holes of adjustment, twin trigger deployment, all milled titanium swing arm. Like I said before, titanium back, and it is just a peach. Now let's measure this real quick. Side to side, it's going to be a 43. The longest way, 43. This way, about a 44. Thickness is going to be about a 13. And then the lug on just the watch case is really only going to be a 49. But these first links don't swing down, so they're a whopping 61. That's a problem for a lot of people and why they don't buy these watches. Now on my wrist, which is 7.25 inches, it drapes perfectly. So I personally, so some people will have an issue with that first link. I don't. So for that, I'm going to recommend this down to a wrist of about 6 inches. Mine's being about 7.5 inch, so it fits me perfect. So for bigger wrists, it will fit perfect. Now, one of the reasons why I chose this over the other MRGs is that short memory press to log your GPS information and mapping information. And it also still has the usual suspects: world time, 5 alarms, stopwatch, countdown timer, and military or standard 12-hour time. Now, uh, the watch is just a beautifully, beautifully looking watch. But if you look, here's the other downfall to the watch. See that? This thing is an absolute terror when it comes to picking up fingerprints and smudges. If you do not like fingerprints and smudges on your watch, this isn't the watch for you. It's going to be fingerprinted up in the first 5 minutes of you touching it because the natural oils in your skin transfer off onto this metal like no other. Beautiful watch when it's all shiny and polished up, but you will find yourself wiping it off once or twice a day just to get back to that beautiful, beautiful finish of why you probably purchased it in the first place. Now, getting to the display, you do have a really high contrasting display, the best of any of the G-Shock squares. There is one other technology that CASIO uses that has an ultra clear display. Maybe that'll find its way into these at a later date, but right now this is the best for the full metal squares. But they do make a display with even higher contrast in this. It's actually pretty cool. It's in a lot of the Move G-Shocks. Now you do get these gold MRG badges and shock resist, and then the red around here is going to be better than any of the other red. It's going to be a reflective red, and you also get that brilliant gold printing on here. The red on here is really, really nice. It pops. You see that? Let me see if I can get that to do it. See that? It reflects just like a reflector in certain lights. So it is really, really nice. The watch, like I said before, it isn't for everybody, but it is a wonderful piece and it's worth every penny. So check this one out. Contact azfountain.com. They are the ones, they are the leaders when it comes to MRGs and G-Shocks. And I'll leave a link, like I said before, in the website. But this is my personal MRG. You know, other people probably just get it for a week or review it. I'll let you know how this one's going in the next couple of years and how it holds up. So stay tuned. My name is Biggie. That's the Watch Once Over for today. God bless you. Sorry for the long video. And as usual, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thank you for watching.